Hey, welcome to another episode of Most Man. How y'all doing out there? Please like, subscribe, hit the bell, comment, boys and girls. We need some comments. Come on over to Rumble. We're on Rumble now. They're not censoring anybody over there. We're on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartMedia. JoinTheMen'sClub.com is the website. And contact at JoinTheMen'sClub.com is the email. So, what's up? Today is a make it alpha again kind of day. How we doing, Tyler?
Doing great, man. Hooty hoo. Make apples great. Hey, what does this say over here? Oh,
no more beta males.
Yeah, no more beta males.
Yeah, fuck them. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. Is
time to get some bass in your voice.
Yeah, no, it's. So I was listening to Bongino this morning. Well, it's been a couple of days that it's been, you know, they talked about it last week, but it's, dude, we got to start fighting fire with fire, man. I mean, doing what they did to his White House, you know, his White House official, the guy didn't do anything wrong, and they just threw him in fucking prison, man.
Who are you talking about?
Peter Navarro.
Peter Navarro?
Yeah. He checked into prison yesterday. He's in prison now.
Who is Peter Navarro?
He was one of Trump's White House officials. Hold on. I'll tell you. Talk real quick while I look at this.
So, Peter Navarro, I think I saw something about this, him going to prison, something about Fox News, because they were relating it to something about Hunter Biden escaping.
Contempt of Congress.
Contempt of Congress, okay. Does it say how long he's being in prison for?
Well, let me get it from a reliable source first. Hold on. But I don't know much about him.
Yeah, Peter Navarro is a pretty rememberable name.
Yeah, but we don't have to talk about him. But it's what they're doing to Trump too, dude. That Letitia James is out there publicly saying she's going to bankrupt him and just take his fucking money, man.
Yep.
I mean, that is the biggest overreach of power. That it's disgusting. It's sick, and like, you know, this Kevin O'Leary guy on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Have you heard what he's been getting on the news? And no, he got on, and he's not really been a political guy, but he's like, this is the stupidest fucking thing that these people could be doing. Like, what are you doing? Like, there is such a mass exit of money and investment leaving New York now, and investment that will never go back.
Yep.
Never go back. And he's getting on all these stages. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're sending a message to the business community that we're not welcome in New York, or we're going to be thrown in fucking jail.
Yep.
I mean, it's insanity. But here's the thing. And this is why I wanted to talk about this. We can go off the well but we gotta start. The only way to stop this shit is to do exactly to them what they're doing to us. You know what I mean? Like when I went to O'Shea's watch party, you could just feel the people that were just like tired of this shit. I mean, he's got a big push now. I mean, a big push. But like what happened to Ken Paxton, okay? He's on his revenge tour now, man. And Trump's going to be too. I mean, we can't keep putting up with this shit. We got to do to them what they're doing to us, or they're going to keep doing this shit. I mean, it's time.
Yeah. No, it's beyond time. You know how people have to see things to believe it? Well, now we're kind of breaking that part, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, they're seizing his stuff. They're trying to take Trump Tower. Dude, it's a communist revolution, and the communists are in control. They stole your election. Now they've already tried to imprison the leading candidate. Now they're seizing all his assets.
Manafort's in prison.
Manafort's in prison.
Didn't Bannon go too?
They did.
Something happened to Bannon.
Yeah, I forget what happened with that. Bannon got in trouble. He's back out. And he and Trump had kind of like a weird back and forth thing anyway.
Yeah.
You know, there was something kind of sketchy about Bannon during Trump's time. I can't remember. I can't put a finger on it exactly right now. I have to go look that back up. I thought it was kind of weird, but I think it was just his mind frame wasn't straight. Because that Trump train, I mean, it's a thought process. So like it's the way things used to be, you know. And I think a lot of people are having trouble getting on board with every single car that's on that train because it's like it's a thought process, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the communists are in control, and we got to take this shit back. And people need to remember, like, this is the tip of the spear. What's happening to Trump is coming down the pipeline.
Yeah.
So it's not just about like, oh, let's save this one man. He's showing you, like, watch.
This is their playbook for the whole. That's why all these texts that I get asking if I'm supporting this, supporting that, I don't answer any of them.
No, me neither. I'm getting a bunch too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no.
I don't even want to reply. I don't know if some people I know they've been blocking them. I don't know if that's worth it or not. I would rather see what they keep saying.
Yeah, me too.
Right.
But what if it's a witch hunt? You know what I mean? Like to see where you stand.
Exactly.
And then they just put you on a list.
Yep. Well, they got Facebook for that.
Well, that and I don't know if me and you talked about this last week or not, but what they're doing to cars, that whole GM getting saved by the government, you know, getting bailed out. Mm-hmm. They're the leading, and here I just went and bought one. Okay.
What are you going to do though?
I know, but that truck can already shut off by itself. It's shut off on me because it has this, like if you're at a stoplight, the engine shuts off. Oh, okay. And then when you let off the brake, it starts back up.
Yeah.
Well, that sequence didn't happen exactly how it wanted to, and it just shut my truck down, and I had to put it in park. This was in the middle of the road, dude. Because, you know, basically what happened is I was pulling up, the light was red, and then it turned green. So I stopped for a fraction of a second. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just long enough to shut it off, and then it wouldn't start back up. I had to put it in park, start it, and then go back. That's why the push for electric cars is that if you're doing something that they don't like, they can just take you straight to that. They can take over your car and just take you straight to jail or wherever they want to take you.
Yeah. You don't have Netflix, do you? Or do you?
Yeah.
Did you watch that movie that Obama made? It's the Leave the World Behind.
No, but I'll write it down.
I haven't watched it, but everybody's just talking about this one.
You've said this over and over again. That's why I'm gonna write it down.
Yeah. About the electric car thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they program the electric cars and they like line them up in like a fence so you can't go beyond them. So they're controlling them like a remote control car. I haven't watched it, so I can't get full details on it. But basically, I mean, they're foreshadowing. They're telling you it's all here.
Well, that's what the autopilot's all about. I had autopilot on my boat, man. You want to know how seriously dead nuts on that is? So what I would do is I'd pick a waypoint or a fishing hole, okay, on my and it's synced with my GPS, okay. But it's got a rudder reference on the back that it turns the motors. But so I would hit a waypoint of where we're going, and it would draw a highway on my GPS, like this is your highway where you're going, and it would have an arrow to the center line of that highway, so that you want to stay within the highway, right?
Okay.
Well, when you sync up autopilot, it'll say go to such and such, whatever's on your screen. It syncs it up where you're going. And you hit auto, and all of a sudden, boom, and you're on it. And as soon as you deviate, those motors back there to keep you on the line.
Wow.
I'm talking within, and this was 15 years ago.
Oh, wow. 15.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with airplanes. They're taking off and landing by themselves. They're just click, 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 click. They still do things, but it's all autopilot too, landing and everything.
Well, it saves them on fuel. The reason I liked it is because it gets you, because you don't understand, like, now we're getting, but using fishing as you take off your autopilot and just the current alone, the current and the wind will get you off course. And if you're not paying attention, you'll be 500 feet off your line.
Okay.
Quick.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you're constantly doing this when you should be just doing this.
Okay. So autopilot corrects that the whole entire
time.
Wow.
Because if you're not on auto, with just being busy talking to somebody or saying, hey, pick that up, or, whatever, all of a sudden you're 1,000 foot off your line.
Okay.
Quickly.
Yeah. Wow.
So if you're constantly doing this, think about how much fuel that saves.
Right.
So
over and over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah. Well, in autopilot also, they can control that. I mean, that's probably something good for the aviation industry. It keeps people from slamming into each other.
Yeah.
Because here's the bad part about autopilot, okay, is that if it's not calibrated or something doesn't work, it's automatically defaults to get you back to zero. There was one time we were going offshore, and it was flat. Like the waves weren't. We didn't have big waves. They were small enough to where I was hauling ass, dude.
Okay.
I was doing like 50 miles an hour. And all of a sudden, something happened between these two being synced up. All of a sudden, my boat just went boom through everybody on the floor. It went back to it automatically will go to zero, true north. And that's back this way.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So my motors just automatically just went boom. And I'm trying to crawl up to hit standby or stop.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's the scary part about autopilot. All of a sudden, and that's why you hear all the electric cars, on autopilot or whatever, fucking slamming into shit. And
yeah.
Because the true basis of that is based off true north, 000.
Okay.
Because that's the magnetic field.
Okay.
The poles, right?
Right. Jeez, man.
That's how a compass works. Compasses, if you got a good one, man, it's crazy to watch how that works. But we have to start fighting fire with fire.
Yep. And the fire is everywhere too. So the electric revolution, we could pretty much call this, right? Or we could probably come up with some cool name about this. Cars, planes, boats, they're all autopilots. So what happens, like, over the course of a couple decades, what happens when this takes over and everybody quits driving and shit shuts down? Or if you don't embrace the revolution and go with it and try to keep a grip on it, what happens when we reject it? all those other countries that are building massive places like Dubai and stuff like that, they start taking advantage of it and they get a grip on it, right? And they evolve and we get left in the dust. What do you do?
We're gonna have to move over there.
Yeah,
dude. I'm everybody. Kim Jong-un is sitting at his desk going, taking fucking notes, is what he's doing. All those guys are just, this is the biggest laughingstock of bullshit that's happening in our country. So this, I don't want to go too much in because she keeps her personal life pretty personal, but this girl that I know, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I asked her the other day. I said, we've talked about it too. We're in the end times. And she's like, we'll know. And we'll know like at the end of June with what happens with Israel and all the stuff that's going on. Like, we're going to know whether it's a spiritual war or a spiritual war is going to be started. Like, real shit. Yes, we're that close. I'm not intelligent enough to speak on all that because I don't know it. like she does.
Yeah.
But she explained it to me, and I was like, whoa. Because there was no hesitation. There was no thinking at all. She just went right to what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, and then whichever way it goes, it's either the spark or the, you know what I mean? Like we stop it.
Right.
We're close, real close. I wish I knew the Bible and all that, like she does, or her group that she's in, or her ministry. But man, she didn't have to think about anything. Came out quick. And like exactly knew what she was talking about. I was like, oh fuck.
So what's it, March? Is it the 20th?
Something like that.
Yeah, oh well, good day. 'Cause last time I looked it was March 17th, so I was like, I think it's been a couple of days. I was just guessing. Yeah, March 20th. Okay. So when was it? Was it the middle of February? Iran was close to being 30 days away from having a nuke. Whenever I was keeping track of this stuff. So if she's saying June, I'm guessing around at least by April 1st is when Iran is predicted to have a nuke. Like, that's horrible for Israel. Like, I mean, I know been saying this to some of my Jewish friends that are like, they all vote left, which is the weirdest shit in the first place because you're supposed to be like this with the Christians, right? So they all, not all, damn it, you can't say all.
Yeah.
The majority of them are Democrats. They vote left so they can have their control and their leverage, and you can't say anything about them because you're anti-Semitic if you even say the word. Same shit with everything else, but I've been telling them, like, I think you need to kind of become a single issue voter here because Trump will make sure that they don't get a nuke. But Iran's also 30 days away from having one. And I think it might have even been the end of January when I was like letting them know because I've been seeing this, down the pipeline. Because once they have a nuke, they hate Israel more than anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's not them that'll launch it, but they'll give it to, Palestine. They'll give it to whoever. It's right there. So they'll find a way to nuke it. And what she's saying is June. That's what triggered this, is when you were saying that she was predicting by June we'll know. It's like, I know Iran's basically, I don't know if it's been that 30-day mark yet. I can't remember the exact day, but I think it was like January 25th. I don't remember. But I know they had like basically 35 days or something.
Yeah, I've heard of that several times.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So once they get a nuke, dude, bad shit. So she's saying by June she might be more in tune with some of the stuff.
Oh, dude, I've enjoyed it, man, because it's hard to find intelligent people to talk to. It's hard.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
No, and especially whenever they know more than you, it's real interesting. Mm-hmm. Because I like learning, but it's hard to find people that can
teach you stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's why all of my friends have always been older than me. Like, I talked to one of my buddies last night. He's 67 years old. Yeah. Who I was hanging around with, he's 65. Those are my friends. I don't have friends my age. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's but now, dude, getting back to what we're talking about is here. We got one more shot at this thing, man.
No, seriously.
Or we're fucked.
I mean, it's barely even going to be a shot. Dude, this situation, because people have to see it before they act, which is the general public. I mean, smart people like us, like, we're here telling you so that you can keep up, which half the audience that we're connected to probably already knows too, but we're also helping because we're always on the tip of the news, right?
Yeah.
So we're keeping up with it and processing. But I think if the general public could already see what's coming down the pipeline, like, dude, you'd be in the streets doing something about it. If you truly understand, like, it's us versus the world, man. We're being invaded. They're arresting political opponents, bankrupting them. Remember when we had our communist revolution thing, our episode?
Yeah.
And we talked about all the different tactics, because once you pinpoint them, they jump over here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Banana Republics, that's where we're at right this second too.
Yeah.
The Bolshevik revolution, like they throw the kitchen sink at this country. The only way to beat America is with every tactic in the world. We're being invaded, we thought, by Mexico, that were just.
Well, we are. That was confirmed. Yes. I mean, I'm not saying that they came out and said, "Hey, we're getting cartel money," but there's not a company here that can do that. I'm talking big companies.
Yeah.
I'm talking companies that have endless budgets, not endless budgets. So I'm talking about the concrete industry. Okay, I went digging into some companies yesterday trying to do some recon work. But man, I'm not kidding you, Tyler. There's big boys here in the Metroplex. So I went and looked at some concrete companies yesterday, and there was these Hispanic guys. They're all related. So there's one right here, and one right here. And every single thing that they had on their yards was brand fucking new. Top of the line. Okay. They had 3 brand new concrete plants. I was in the concrete business for 14 years, dude, and I've never heard of these guys. Never heard of them. Surely I would have known who they are. Okay. Never heard of them. And all of a sudden, they had 3 brand new concrete plants, mobile plants made for big jobs that you take the mobile out to the job and just pour a shit ton of concrete, right?
Yeah.
And you produce on the job site. They're just sitting on the ground. They're there's $1 million a piece. And that's just the plant. That's not all the accessories that go with it to make it run. And they're just sitting there, and I'm like, this does not bother you to have this just sitting here? You know? No. I've got 2 more locations that, hey, man, we got 2 more locations, and my third one, I just bought 3 new plants for those locations. We're putting those up.
Wow.
These guys have never even been in the ready mix business before.
Holy shit.
We'll figure it out, man. Yeah. So that going back to so this is example, so you'll understand what we're talking about. I'm pretty damn sure it's cartel money. But here's going back to the whole fentanyl thing. Okay. I really truly believe, because whenever Boom hurt his back, without telling your personal business, but hydrocodone, I don't even think hydrocodone would have touched his pain. He was in that much pain. Because he had surgery, and then he just, stubborn fucker, 4 or 5 days after surgery, he goes and tries to put a fucking transmission in a concrete truck. Those aren't small transmissions. He got it done, but he fucked his back up again. Okay, so he had pain that he was dealing with. I don't know if hydrocodone would touch it, but so they put him on what they call pain management, which was a blend of, they put patches on his arm, but one of them was fentanyl.
Wow.
Okay. And I had never heard of fentanyl before in my life. So this was probably 10 years ago. No, probably 12, 13. Yeah, 12 or 13. Yeah, because sold out in 2015. It was probably 2012, 13. Yeah. 12, 13 years ago. Okay. Never heard of fentanyl in my life. I'm wondering because here's the thing. The ready mix business is a business that's a hard business to get into. It's the men's club, okay? That's where part of this came from. Is my banker was like, "Yeah, you're joining the men's club. Like you got to be careful. They'll cut you out, man. If they don't like the way you do business, they'll cut you out. You don't just jump in." You know what I mean? Say, hey, I want to start a concrete or ready mix. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but my point about the fentanyl was that a test to see how addictive it was? because it was addictive as shit to a whole lot of people. All of a sudden, you started hearing people getting on these pain management programs and getting addicted to fentanyl. And all of a sudden, the doctors pull it back. It's the same thing that happened with me on my testosterone, man. That's what created my heart problem. Was the pellets that I was getting thickened your blood. Now all of a sudden that my blood pressure's perfect. Okay, but they were pumping that shit. You couldn't walk in any doctor's office in any door without seeing Bio-T testosterone pellets. My prescription went from $10 every 6 months or 6 weeks, whatever it was, to $1,200 every 3 months. But it was supposed to be so much better and cleaner. And now all of a sudden you don't hear fucking shit about it. I had to go donate blood. All of a sudden my doctor's like, oh my God, you got to donate blood. Your blood's too thick. So I walk into Carter to go donate blood, and they're like, why are you here? You know, blood pressure, check all these questions, blah, blah, blah. And they said, you know, why are you here? And I said, I'm here to donate blood. And they said, do a double red plate, you know, red platelet, get as much red blood cells out as I could. And they were like, you must be another one of those dummies that are taking those testosterone pellets. So she said, get off that shit. She said, we got people flowing through here with, you know, stroke level blood pressure because their blood's thick as shit. And it's from those pellets.
I mean, did they not know this ahead of time before they were making that stuff? Is that a trap too?
Well, just because the FDA says it's safe doesn't mean it's safe. But that's my whole point about the fentanyl. Was it a test to see how addictive it was? And now all of a sudden you can't go a day without hearing about people freaking dropping like flies from fentanyl.
Yep.
And our borders wide fucking open.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And China ships it to Mexico to come up through here.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's just China doing it.
So going back to the whole thing about the concrete thing, once you start making a certain level of money in business, okay, like once you go get over $1 million, they're monitoring you. Trust me, they know how much money people make. I mean, and as long as you now, here's the only thing that I don't want to be doom and gloom. It's still America. You're allowed to make money. You're just not allowed to break the law, and that's fine. You know, because when you're in business like that, it's not worth it to do something stupid. You know, it's there already. Just do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know, so, but how that could happen, what I saw yesterday, and nobody go, alarm bell.
When you told me.
That's what I told Joe yesterday. I said, man, we're fucking competing with the fucking cartel. That's what this is.
Yeah. I wasn't surprised, but I was that it's infiltrated here. Because I just keep thinking Texas is still fortified.
Mm-hmm.
I know that they're like completely in control of Arizona. Like completely, which blew my mind because Arizona's I thought it was pretty fortified too.
Well, but here's the thing. Here's why it might not be a red flag right now is because the Hispanic community is the concrete community. They do all the work. You know what I mean? Like, they're good at it. You can't find better people to do concrete work than Hispanic people. They're good at it. And it's just the way they air condition their clothes, the way they operate. Man, they can they're used to that kind of heat, work, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's no surprise. But, yeah, a friend of mine that's in the commercial business, commercial concrete. And I'm talking, that's where these plants would have been, is on some of his job sites. You know what I mean? Like, they build Amazon warehouses. They build bridges. You know what I mean? They build big stuff. Okay. It's the first question he asked me. He said, who are these Gonzalez and Gonzalez brothers? Never heard of them. It didn't ring a bell till yesterday. I've never heard of them. And they went from, now I know one of the owners because we've done business in the past. Like, the plant that I was looking at, I sold that plant to who has it now. But while I was there trying to dig it out of the hole for another guy, I was using his trucking company to haul material for me. The guy that owns all those plants on that location, that's his location. He went from that to that in 2 years, 3 years. Something don't add up. It's crazy, dude. If you saw what we were like, when we get to, I'll take you up, and you just look and you're like, good God, how much did this cost? And I'm saying the same thing. How is anybody making any money out of this place with this much expense? I know what it takes to run one of those places. You got to run lean, man. If you don't run lean, you're not making any money. You can't run like that. State of the art, everything. Yeah. Fucking crazy, man. So
do you think they're maybe playing, let's say it's the cartel, which obviously it sounds like it is. And as soon as you said it, like hit me in my gut. I was like, I believed you, but I was like, I was breaking into the reality of it. So let's say that it is, which we think it is, and you're fairly sure, right? Well, you were mentioning how those other massive companies came in and bought up like some really big ones, like in your old area, right? So is that the same thing? I mean,
I don't know.
A way bigger thunderstorm than you could.
No, I don't think so on those. No, the one that came in, they've got a lot of private money behind them.
Yeah.
The SRM group. Yeah, they've got a lot of those private equity guys, dude. They got so much money. It's not just one guy in it. It's a pool of billionaires that pool their money together.
Okay.
And they just want to keep it churning.
Gotcha.
Okay, so. Not them, no. And the other big merger was one of these big conglomerates like I'm talking about. But they took over. It was like, here's number one and here's number two. Well, number one took over number two. And that check to take over number two had to be massive. Massive. But two, why that happens is at that level, you're turning so much money. And they're chasing every bit of volume out there, and their margins are thinner than ours. So they get into a few snags, and all of a sudden they want to offload it. You know what I mean? Those big companies, man. That's if you don't have the right guy running it, man, boy, you can go downhill so fast. This industry is not one that you can play around with and test things. You got to stick to the program that works and stick to it 100%.
Well, so I was guessing if that cartel company had just like unlimited funding because they've bought more plants, like you said, are they just there to absorb things? Is it that kind of a game?
No, they're not that big.
No. Okay.
But why wouldn't they park their money in Texas, man? This is the best market in the country.
Yeah.
Not just DFW. San Antonio is just as good as it is here, and Houston's just as good as it is here.
So you think it's probably more of a laundering thing than it is?
I would bet, yeah.
Okay.
It's a good way to park their money in a business that is full of Mexicans.
Okay. That makes sense.
And their family.
Mm-hmm.
La familia.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I'm not for sure, but I just was like, this is bonkers, man. But it's just like that other company across the street that I told you about. There is so much money moving to Texas. That pipe company across the street, they're not from here, man. They moved here. That's what kind of shit is coming to Texas. Texas is not going to be Texas. I mean, we got big that's why we did our little security joke the other day. If you saw this place, it's like, my God.
Really?
Who has the money for this? I mean, it was square miles, this company.
Wow.
And I mean, you just look around and you're like, who in the hell is paying for this? But we've got companies flooding. They're coming here. I saw this the other night when I like with all this shit going on over here, that happened in the last week. Waking up in the middle of the night, just in my head, trying to figure things out.
Right.
And I ran across Sylvester Stallone's he's moving to Florida.
I saw that.
Did you?
Yep.
And his daughters are hot.
Are they?
Oh yeah, they were talking about their dating life and all. They're kind of like building almost like a reality family, the Stallones or whatever.
Oh, are they?
Seems like it.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That would be interesting.
Yeah. Oh, his daughters are hot. Yeah, because they were talking about how he's relentless on their boyfriends. I mean, he doesn't.
I'm sure.
Yeah, how would you like to have it?
Oh, hey, man, I'd like to go out with you. Cool. Hey, you want to meet my family? Yeah, I like you a lot.
Well, no, but that's what they were saying, like,
Dad's Rocky.
Yeah.
Rambo.
It's like, do you want to date me or do you want to date Sly? Which one are you after here? You know what I mean? But could you imagine having to break bread with Sly?
God.
Oklahoma. You seen that?
Oh wait, man.
Wait, hang on. What's the name of that? It's his new. Is it on Netflix? I think. It's what is it, man? Dude, it is badass. He's got he's a gangster in this. He's working for the cartels. He's a gangster. Hang on, I'll tell you. It's in Oklahoma. It's all filmed in Oklahoma. It's the guy that's doing Yellowstone.
Huh. I still have not watched that.
You got to. I've watched it probably. Tulsa King.
Tulsa King. Huh.
Mm-hmm. Fucking awesome, dude. I watched it when I had surgery on my foot. Couldn't get out of bed. Oh, dude. Yeah. Sly's back.
Interesting.
Yeah, the same guy that. Yeah, you got to watch Yellowstone, man. What the fuck's wrong with you? I've watched it probably the whole series. I've probably watched it sometimes on the weekend. That's just on.
It's on Paramount Plus, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't.
Well, I've got it downloaded. Like I bought it.
I watched half of the first episode because it was free somewhere. I forget exactly where.
Yeah, they bounced from. They were Netflix, then they went to Peacock, and then now they're at Paramount, I believe.
Okay.
And then they're on Amazon. They're on a couple of different ones now. Yeah, you got to pay for it now.
Yeah, I really want to see it. I liked it. I didn't get to finish the first episode. Wasn't the first one like 3 hours long or something?
Probably.
Yeah, it was like, I think it was like super long. I watched
to get you hooked in.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. Fucking Kevin Costner, get your head out of your ass, man.
What's he doing?
He's not in it. I think Matthew McConaughey took his place. He started being a little bitch.
God damn, dude, that dude does it every time.
I mean, who the fuck do you think you are, man? You can't if you watch it, you can't replace him in that movie or that series. There's no way Matthew McConaughey is going to pull that shit off. And dude, I told you they're filming it here.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I've driven by this little bar on the way home several times.
Where is that?
It's off of. You probably never been this way, but it's off Camp Bowie West, which is like if you're going to my house, so you go 820 to 30, right? Well, right where there's a highway that joins into 30, like right where that strip club is and Bromballs, that furniture store. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
It's that road. So that goes to Camp Bowie.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that road on this side of 820, like towards my house.
Okay.
It's kind of a dumpy little area. But they took one of the bars that are there. It's a little dive bar. And man, they dressed the whole front, because I remember the first time I drove by, it was at night. It just, because it was before daylight savings times. And I was like, man, what the hell is going on up there? It was just like lit up, like lights like this, but just huge. And I drove by, and I mean, there were people everywhere. I was like, man, what the hell's going on there? And I went to, like, Fridays are my cheat days where I'll go out to lunch or something. And I was at that Uncle Julio's, and I was at the bar, and I just started bullshitting with this, talking about concrete, son's in the concrete business. But yeah, he was like, yeah, man, I just got back from watching the Yellowstone shoot. There's like 5 different spots in Fort Worth they're shooting it. Different scenes.
Okay.
But I've driven by this place 3 times, and they've been doing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You would think they would knock it out all in 1 week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This has been over well, maybe they have to follow the storyline. That way the storyline just keeps fitting. You know what I mean? You probably know more about that than me.
There's no telling. I mean, I've been on set one time where we did 36 episodes in 4 days. Now, they were very structured and easy to do, so we did 9 episodes a day. But it was so set up, like it was the same scene over and over and over. So we just blew through all of it real fast. But like to see something like what they're doing, it's so cinematic. It's so like perfected and intricate from the little bit I've seen. I'm sure.
Like the characters have got to be in the moment.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. To get your personality down like that, coordinated amongst the whole team and the whole cast also, I bet that it's got to be a tremendous amount of coordination. So, I mean, especially being a TV show that they have the time to film it too, I bet they are probably more relaxed. Well, man, maybe not though, because the TV series are usually actually ones they have to spit through stuff. So, I don't know. I mean,
well, if you watch Yellowstone, it is intense, and it's one of the best produced series I've ever seen, man. That Tyler Sheridan is fucking good. Did you ever go ahead?
No, I was going to say that then if they're really taking this much time on those particular things, I mean, speaking of this show in particular, I already know how massively popular it is because I see people talking about it all the time. So they probably just have that budget to sit there and just get it right. There was a movie called The Grandmaster. They took 10 years to make it because the entire movie is perfect. I forgot how many awards this thing won. I need to go watch it all the way through again. But when you have that kind of a budget and something's that popular, you can probably sit there and just get everything pinpoint, accurate, perfect. Because then it maintains its integrity.
Well, check this out. Sons of Anarchy is another one of his too.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Let's see. NCIS.
Okay.
His. Well, he was in that. I think he was in that one. CSI New York. He did that one. Mayor of Kingston. Well, you got Yellowstone, 1883, and then 1923. 1883 is actually, that one's good too. It's the first Dutton how you could settle land, and it starts off in Old Town Fort Worth, Texas. That he takes this whole group of what do you call them? They were from some like Polish people or some kind of people. They were from a foreign country, you know, and they had these certain standards that their religion wouldn't let them deviate. And he was like, but it was his job to get, he was getting paid to take them up to Montana with him and leave them somewhere in between, you know, because they didn't know how to get there. But it was the first Dutton and this general from the Army. They were getting paid to navigate these people, and a ton of these people died because they wouldn't listen because of their religion and all that. But it shows that's how the Dutton Ranch got started, was from that first Dutton making that trek all the way up there from Texas to Montana.
Oh, okay.
And then he took over that Dutton Ranch. That's how it got started. So when you watch Yellowstone and how he talks about it's the family history, it's not about making money. It's about the family history of the 1883 tells the story of how that started.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay.
It's good.
What was the other one? 19.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know what 1923 is about.
So
But it's got
but at least the 1800 one, that's at least a prelude, basically.
well, it's part of the Duttons too.
Okay.
But it's back in the Prohibition and Great Depression and all that.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll watch that one this weekend. That's got Harrison Ford in it. That's got to be pretty good. But yeah, dude, that Tyler Sheridan is fucking good, man. You need to watch it. You'll appreciate the production, man. Because when you watch it, you cannot stop. Like I've watched it 5 times, if not more.
Wow.
And it's still as good as it was the first time.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm lacking. I guess I got to get Paramount Plus. My girl's not huge on the Western stuff, but I'm trying to get her into it.
You just better make sure you got some time.
Okay.
Because it'll hook you in.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know how he does it. You'll understand when you watch it. And I'm not the only one saying that. Everybody that you talk to, it's like, man, I can't stop watching it.
I have seen people talk about this show for years.
Well, when I went up there to spread my dad's ashes, dude, that's my whole one of my whole purposes of that trip was to go to the train station.
Oh, really?
You don't know about the train station? I'm not going to say anything then.
Okay.
But yeah, the Dutton Ranch is where I went. So that town that I was in, what's the name of that town? Well, speaking of Kevin Costner, he lives there. All those big Hollywood, what was the name of that town? Jackson Hole.
Huh, okay.
Wyoming, that's
it, yeah.
But the Dutton Ranch wasn't that far across. But here's the thing. To get to it, you could get to it easily if you could drive through the Yellowstone. Go through the Yellowstone and go out the Yellowstone National Park. But if you go around it, it's like 18 hours because you got to drive around the Yellowstone National Park. But if you can go through it, you can get to it in like 3 or 4 hours.
Okay.
That's what I was going to do. But I was the only dumbass on top of that mountain. Yeah, it was closed. Fucking driving on 12 inches of snow. I kept telling myself, I was like, man, if I slide off this road, I'm fucking dead. There ain't nobody coming to get me. Yeah.
Wow.
It was beautiful, though.
I can understand. Wyoming, I still say it. When people ask, like, what's the most beautiful state you've ever been to? I can't not say Wyoming.
Oh, man, it is unbelievable, man.
Really, dude, it looked like, if I could figure out what heaven looked like and I would see anywhere on earth, that's what I thought.
Seriously?
I was like, damn, dude, this looks like heaven, like for real.
Yeah, so when I was flying in, it was that's when that snowstorm was coming in, so I couldn't see nothing. And I came in at night, or not night, but it was like blizzard, so when it snows like that up there, the clouds cover the mountains and all that stuff. So, I'm just driving to my hotel, taking the bus to my hotel, getting rent a car so I can go to my hotel. And I wake up the next morning and I open up the blinds and I was like, oh my God, you are in God's country now, man. It was freaking beautiful. Did you go up there at while it snowed?
Yeah. It wasn't snowing when I got there, but it was just chock full of snow. I was in the mountains, and I had to come over some mountain, and then there was like a valley, and then there was a shitload of mountains. And it was right as the sun was starting to set, so that golden hour had just started to begin. It wasn't like pure golden hour, but it had just started to become golden hour, and it was somewhat cloudy, but like perfect clouds, and the snow was like perfectly white.
And it makes those mountains just freaking explode.
Yeah.
With like vividness.
For sure. I have never seen anything that beautiful.
I know. I would say the same thing. Did I tell you about that story about that kid I met that almost got attacked by a bear?
Yeah. At your hotel?
No. Well, I stopped at a site so I could take pictures. of the mountains. I mean, I took videos, and I want to make like a little mini documentary out of it, because every song that I had on the radio while I was recording was the best song. You know, I mean, like,
Yeah.
with the scenery and all that. So, but I'm sitting there, and this guy, I'm taking pictures and video and all that kind of stuff, and I'm standing by the river where I dumped my dad's ashes at the beginning of the river, at the lake. You know, I was just kind of saying goodbye to him, and you're here where you want to be, and on and on and on and on. And this younger, I mean, he's not a kid, he's a younger guy, walks up, and I mean, he is just like panting, and you could tell that he just went through something serious. And I was like, hey man, are you all right? He's like, honestly, no. He said, I'm trying to calm down. He said, so if I do anything stupid, just understand that I'm really fucked up right now. Like, some serious shit just happened. And I'm like, are you all right? I mean, like, mentally? I mean, are you there? And he's like, no, I'm fine. He said, man, but I'm calming it. He said, man, I just almost got attacked by a bear. And he had it on video, dude. He's one of those TikTok. What he does is he kite snowboards, like kite surfing. You know how people get those kites or like a parachute and use that as their power source, and they wakeboard, like wake surfing or whatever you call it, with a parachute. Yeah. Well, he does that with snowboarding.
Okay.
But he's making videos with his GoPro and all while he's doing it, flying up in there and doing all these spins and tricks and all that. All of a sudden, in the camera is this fucking grizzly bear chasing him.
Jeez.
Yes.
Did you get that on video?
Fuck yeah, I did.
Damn.
Okay, so, but what happened is some people pulled up, because they saw what he was doing. And this was his first outing. Like, he had just gotten to, he was so pumped because it got fresh snow. This was his first time there. He came from, where'd he come from? Idaho or someplace like that. But that's what he does. He travels all those places and windsurfs and kite surfs or kite snowboards or whatever. That's what he does. He makes TikTok videos and YouTube videos. I need to find him, see if he's got it up. So, yes, he got it on video. But what happened is people pulled up, like spectators, to watch him. And the bear lost focus and went kind of towards them and then went back into the wood. He got it all recorded. He recorded the bear leaving and all that shit. Well, that's what those people were like. So he just dropped all of his gear and just started fucking running. Once the bear took off the other direction, he just dropped all his shit and took off running to get out of there. Well, the bear left, and talk about a thrill seeker, man. Listen to this. So they were like, just leave how much does that stuff cost down there? And he was like $2,000. I'm going back to get it. And they were like, what? Are you fucking crazy? He went back and got it. And videoed that. He took bear spray with him, though. But, man, yes, he got it on video.
Jeez, we gotta find that.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
You should have seen his demeanor, man. He was fucked up. I've had a few of those not with bears, but just like almost dying encounters, man. And dude, you go places, man.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I went skydiving, dude. I jumped out of the plane by myself.
The first time?
Yes.
Wow.
I had to pass some training, but
yeah,
I jumped out. Now there was two guys that jumped beside me just in case something happened, but yeah, I jumped out by myself.
Wow.
Fuck yeah, dude. Man, you know that feeling of getting nervous.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like where it gets just down into your core of your body.
Yep.
Okay. Well, you get that feeling times 50 after you skydive, all the way to the center of your fucking bone marrow, dude. And it lasts. You know that high feeling, like that endorphin, fucking, you know, what the rush feeling.
Yeah.
You know, it lasts for 3 days, dude.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
That feeling that you feel after, like, whew, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like something intense and you got the best of it and you're like pumped.
Yeah.
That it lasts for 3 days.
Holy shit. Damn.
But way more intense.
Wow.
Because there's no money in skydiving. You ask yourself, the fuck, why would you? It's a cheap sport, man. Oh, dude. Man, we'll say this and we'll this is what we'll, but so this guy that I go to, not what I'm saying, there's no money in this shit. Okay, that's why if you watch those repo shows, skydiving planes are getting repoed all the fucking time because they can't pay the bill.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, there's no money in it. It costs like $25 to go skydiving.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not.
Oh.
If you jump by, it's like $150 if you attach yourself to somebody.
Oh, okay, okay.
But once you know how to do it by yourself, it's like $20.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Huh.
But yeah, if you just go and you strap yourself onto a guy, you know what I mean? Like there'll be a guy on your back and you're on the bottom.
Right.
So, and that's what I was like, I don't know about all that.
Yeah, no.
You know, I was like, who's strapping up with me? And it was this big burly dude, and man, it not to get gay, but man, I mean, he's sitting over there in his fucking whatever that strap that goes through your
strap on.
Dude, he had it looked like he had 2 fucking softballs. I mean, he must have had a dick that fucking big. And I was like, that dude is not strapping up behind me.
Yeah.
But, you know, it just like pushed everything together. I was like, Jesus Christ. And some of the people one of the girls, there was a girl that went with us because I was entertaining some clients, like a customer. And there's this one little single girl, and she's hot, dude. And I mean, boy, you should have seen her eyes light up like that's going to be behind me. She's like, I want him. And I was like, I bet you do.
That's hilarious.
Fucking Mufasa over there.
Damn.
But at any rate, shit. Oh, okay. So yeah. So I go meet this guy because I'm like, okay, look, I've got 7 people that I'm bringing, you know. They all want to jump. They all want videos. They all want blah, 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 blah. And I'm looking around, and this guy shows, this is the pilot. This is the guy that's taking us up, dude. He shows up in a pair of sweats and a piece of shit minivan with probably no air conditioner. And I'm like, this is the guy taking us up? And he owns the place. Okay? Speaking of concrete, his girlfriend used to be in the concrete business and all this, and she's like, you're lucky. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, oh, yeah, I know who you are. I want a job. And I'm like, no, just get off the meth for a minute and let's talk about skydiving and talk about. She's like, I love how concrete smells. And I'm like, I bet you know like the way something else smells too. So
you like that smell of chemicals?
Yeah, you like that whatever chemicals in meth. I don't give a shit. But anyway,
yeah.
So we start talking, and he's like, you need to come out here. I want to meet you. He said, you don't strike me as the type of guy that wants to go up somebody else. And I'm like, no, not really. You know? And then when I met Big Daddy over here that's going to be, I was like, no. That dude ain't strapping up behind him. Plus, we're both husky dudes. He's like, y'all are too big for the parachute. You know? Y'all two aren't going to fit.
Yeah.
Y'all aren't going to make it out the door. So he's got this little bitty Cessna airplane, okay? But it hauled ass, man. He was like, it was fun getting up in the air. But anyway, I'm looking around and I'm like, and he's filling up the airplane with gas and he's using gas cans. I'm like, you don't have a fucking gas pump around here? This is how you fill up your fucking airplane? You got a stick that you're checking to see how much gas you got? Because I'm in the concrete business heavy back then, and I'm like all about like, you know, we can't let people die. You know what I mean? Like, if you make mistakes in our business, people die.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't know about this. So we start talking. He ended up being a really cool guy. Okay. But, so he starts doing all this training and you got to watch this video, blah, blah, blah. So I go through all that, end up jumping, doing my thing. That part's that part. Just badass experience. Well, I'm hooked. Okay. And I told him, I'm like, look, man, you can't be doing this in front of your customers, man. You can't be filling up your plane with, you know, a trailer that barely even rolls with 20 gas cans. That doesn't look good. Okay. You got people jumping out of fucking airplanes. You need to have a gas pump. Like, it needs to look a little professional around here. And I'll help you out. I've got some extra stuff that I can bring up here that'll clean your image up a little bit, because this, if you ask me, doesn't look too hot. You know, you look like you're rednecking this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm helping him out, and he's so used to, he gets so spoiled that he's not up there pushing the fucking gas cap. He forgets to put the gas cap on the damn, and the gas is in the wing. So all of a sudden he's like, Johnny, you're up next, and Susie, they're all hopping in the airplane, and he jumps in and just starts fucking taking off. He doesn't have the gas cap on the wing. So that, you know, the wing, there's gas splashing out of the, and I'm running out there like, what the fuck are you doing, man? You know, stop. He's like, what, Mark? You know, I really enjoy that. I said, yeah, but you ain't got a gas cap on the damn. He's about to take off with no fucking gas cap.
Damn.
Yeah. Doing it as much as that airplane will do, man. I mean, you're just like, he's just like doing circles trying to get you up as high as you can, because when you jump, it's like 12,500 feet, man. And this was in August. It was freezing up there, man.
Wow.
He opened up the door, and I was like, fuck. I was in a pair of shorts. You know, it's freezing up there. It's like 31 degrees up there. Cold as shit, and it's 105 down there. But you're way above the clouds. Okay, so it explains this little plane that we're jumping out of. He had a little steel step about this big. It was basically for his cameraman to stand on, because the cameraman goes first. That way he can look up and take. He's got a little thing in his mouth that he clicks on. You know, he chews on to snap the snap the photos.
Okay.
And so he jumps first so he can lay back to get all the shots, right? And then Mufasa over here, you know, just like, all right, you ready to go? And he'll just dump out backwards. Well, when you're in training to do it by yourself, you have to walk out on that wing, hang on to the wing strut. And here you are, just, you know, on the wing. And you have to look at him and say, hey, this, you know, check. Boom. And you let go. Tyler, that fucking airplane disappears like that. It was the most intense. And then all of a sudden you're rolling, whether you're going backwards or forwards or whatever. And you got to, how you get control is you steer with your hands and your feet. Okay. So if you do this, you're fucking going that way. But I had to have my parachute pulled by 5,500 feet, in between 55 and 5,000. It's right in the middle of the fucking clouds.
Oh, really?
And that day was those big poofy cumulus clouds.
Yeah.
And I'm flying through these clouds, and that, you know, Mufasa over here, Big Daddy, he was like, don't put that thing on his fucking neck. He's too, you know, because me and him were built the same, right? He's like, he's too big for, his neck's too big. You know, he's too stocky up there. He's not going to be, but he had put an altimeter underneath my neck to where I could supposedly look down and see you had one on your wrist and one, but I couldn't see it. Okay. And I'm looking at my watch, and I'm in the middle of the clouds. Okay. Well, I'm looking at my watch, and I'm searching for so what do you think I'm doing?
Oh, shit.
Okay. And then I finally find boom. Yeah. And as soon as I fall through the clouds, my parachute. Yes. Intense, dude.
Damn.
Yes. Yeah, because I'm blind anyway, okay? I'm sitting there doing this, and I'm trying to find my fucking cord. because it's only like that long. It's only like that long because they don't want it to drag a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then it'll pull whenever it's not supposed to pull, and somebody will be on top of you. You know what I mean? If you got other people above you and that thing just pulls, so they don't want anything with any restriction or drag. You want you to fall as quick as you can. Yes. Fucking crazy. So that's why that kid with that bear was like that. Yeah. All right, we're going to end it on that.
Okay.
All right. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment, boys and girls. We need some comments. Come on over to Rumble. We're on Rumble. I don't censor anybody over there. iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartMedia, jointhemensclub.com. Contact at jointhemensclub.com. You want to email us. Okay, thanks.